Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I got Kendall on today.
Hey everybody, how are you doing?
Because we have now been living in Thailand for
3 years.
3 years already, which it doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, it's crazy how fast time goes.
So we thought we would sit here and tell you a little bit about how life is for us after living here in Thailand for 3 years, some of the things we got used to and everything else. And today we are at beautiful, what's the name of this place?
Valley Coffee by Lana Resort.
We're there today. So anyway, enjoy the view behind us. Beautiful place. So the first thing I would say about living in Thailand, we're originally from the US. Living here in Thailand is after 3 years, it really feels like home now. It really feels normal. We just got back from visiting the United States. We were there for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And I was ready to get back. It just feels like home here, and the U.S. really did not feel like it.
Yeah. For me, one of the things is driving feels normal now, meaning when we first got here, I felt like it was crazy. You know, I'm used to wide lanes. Everybody, for the most part, follows the traffic rules of the road. Here, it's not like that. Motorcycles are everywhere. People just kind of flow around. And now I feel like that's normal. And when I'm driving, I always said I would never drive here when we first moved here. Well, now I've been driving here. I do have a bubble I drive in. I call it my little driving bubble around. But when I'm driving, I'm like, okay, you know, you're looking for motorcycles. You expect the unexpected. It just becomes part of life and you don't even think about it anymore.
And what she means by driving bubble is there's this circle that she won't go out of. Everything's got to be close to the house. Her little circle that she feels safe driving in. So, yeah, it does feel a lot more. When I'm driving here, I don't think a thing about it. When we first got here, it was awful. We were constantly, first of all, we had to remember to stay on the left-hand side of the road. And then everybody is swerving around everywhere. And motorcycles are in places I was not expecting them because there would never be a motorcycle off the road, on the side of the road, driving just as fast as I am in my blind spot.
Or at night, they don't have their lights on their motorcycles a lot of times, so you can't even see them.
No reflectors, nothing.
Yeah, it's scary.
And now I could say after 3 years that I know I'm a foreigner here, but I don't feel like a foreigner here. I felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb, and I probably still do, but it just doesn't feel that way. So I kind of have to remind myself every now and then, I'm like, wait a minute, you know, I'm definitely a foreigner here in Thailand. It used to be on my mind all the time. I bet I look weird. Everyone's staring at me, those kind of things. But now I don't even think about it, and I really don't think anyone else thought anything much about it to begin with. But now I know we're using the word normal over and over again, but feels pretty normal.
It does, and you get used to, just like anywhere you live, you get used to your routines. You get to know people just because you've been in the restaurants a lot, and they recognize you, and you make relationships, and it does. It starts just feeling normal, like you said. Another thing I've gotten used to since we've been here is going out to eat. When we first got here, you know, I'm used to the U.S. where waitresses come to your table all the time. You get drink refills. You're used to what you're used to. And when we got here, it doesn't operate that way. A lot of times you have to get a server over to your table to even bring you a menu. Sometimes it's one menu to share with the whole table. I don't think anything about that now. You order your food, it usually comes out at different times. I don't think anything about that now. Drink refills, I don't expect them anymore. And if you need something, you've got to flag the waitress down because they're not ready to come over to your table. They're probably over talking to somebody else or doing something else. And the whole tipping thing, you know, in the U.S. we're used to tipping the 20%. Here that's not expected at all. If you know, you can leave a tip, but it's not a norm by any means. So I've gotten used to it. And when we went back to the U.S., it felt strange to actually have somebody coming over to our table. Can I help you? Can I get you anything else? Would you like another drink? And it was nice, but sometimes that got a little overwhelming too, because you're used to having your space and nobody's around and calling them over. And there it's just, they're all on you. So I guess it's all a matter of perspective.
So when we first got here and we started eating out, we had to get used to all these little things. We're thinking, this restaurant stinks. The waitress stinks. The food's out at different times. What's wrong with them? And after a while, we figured out, oh, that's how things are here. So yeah, we're used to it now. Now we've kind of figured out the flow of things around here. In other words, the way things work. So at first, there's intricacies. I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to explain it right now, of the way things work, and it just seems strange at first because everything's different than it is in the U.S. But after a while, all those things start to seem natural, normal, and you start understanding the way Thais think, the way Thais handle situations, and it starts to become the norm for you as well, for the most part. So I think that's another thing that I know after 3 years that we're starting to kind of understand the Thai people and their customs a lot more now.
And it's definitely a lot more laid back. They call it the sabai sabai. In the U.S. you're used to go, 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 go. Here it's it's calmer. You just, it's all good. We got it handled. It works out in due time. Another thing that I've just become so accustomed to, usually, say in the U.S. where we're from, you go out somewhere, you can understand what people are saying, and you're sitting at a table and all the people around you are speaking your language and you're used to that. Living here, at first when we moved here, I remember thinking, I don't know what anybody is saying. And that kind of stands out to you at first, but now I'm so accustomed to it, it doesn't bother me. And I do know Thai words now, so I can figure some things out. I still don't know it all, but I'm okay with that. And it just has become the norm. And I know we talked about when we were back in the U.S., we're like, wow, we can understand what everybody is saying. And that felt strange.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, true. But that's just become, a way of life, and you don't even think about it anymore.
Now, another thing is after 3 years, we're very used to Thailand prices. And we could tell you from coming back from and we're used to bugs, but we're just coming back from the U.S., it's fresh on my mind how expensive things are in the U.S. or even outside of Thailand in general.
Especially Chiang Mai, where we live, it's even cheaper than like the southern Thailand.
You will get spoiled by living here, and you're not going to want to pay ridiculous prices in any other country anywhere. So you do get really used to it, and yeah, I'm going to say it's a good thing because you live here in Thailand and the prices are low, but it's kind of a bad thing because it does make everyone else or every other country seem that much more expensive. So after 3 years, I could say I'm not paying those crazy prices anymore. I'm very used to Thai prices.
Yeah. And another thing I'm still not 100% used to, but it's a lot hotter here than what I was used to in South Carolina in the United States. And right now we're in one of the hottest months of the year. Do I still sweat? Yes. But I've learned that in my house, I'm not going to set my air conditioner to where it goes down to in degrees to like 70 degrees. We keep it around 83, 84. And I'm comfortable in that. When we first moved here, I was dying all the time. It was so hot. I'm like, how am I ever going to get used to this, sweating? But your body kind of acclimatizes over time. And like I said, I do still sweat, but I feel like I can handle the heat a lot more, especially in our house. I don't know about
Bugs just love me. Now, a lot of people like to ask me, do we regret moving here to Thailand? I'm going to say that quickly, other than these bugs driving me crazy today. No, not at all. I absolutely love it here. I'm glad we made the decision to come here. Mm-hmm. If we had to do it all over again, we would move here again, I would definitely say. So we really enjoy it here. And after 3 years, no regrets. But we do realize that Thailand is not for everyone. We know a ton of people who are expats who have moved here and decided to move somewhere else. So it's definitely not for everyone. That's why you definitely need to do your research.
And make sure you come here for a visit first. Don't just say, oh, I want to move there and pick up and move. You need to come, spend a couple of months, go to the different areas of Thailand and see if this is really a place you could see yourself. And then you'll have firsthand experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did come here in 2016 together, and we looked at different places here, Bangkok and Ayutthaya, and what did we do? We didn't come to Chiang Mai, but we moved to Chiang Mai.
But we have been to Thailand.
Yes.
And another thing, so after these 3 years we've been here, air quality in Chiang Mai, especially at this time of year, it's the smoky season, we've learned how to deal with it. So basically we stay inside. We're outside right now, but we stay inside or we go to restaurants that are indoors. We do have 3 to 4 air purifiers running in our house at any time, and the air conditioners do help to filter out the smoke as well. So, like I said, we just kind of learned how to deal with it. It's not ideal, but there's ways around it, and we figured them out, and we've been doing fine.
And we do schedule our vacation each year for the smoky season.
Yeah, we do. We went to the U.S. this time. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still the smoky season now, but yeah, if we went away for a couple months, we would pretty much avoid it.
Yep.
And another thing I figured out when cooking here in Thailand, I can't always get everything I need for my recipes, but I've learned to make do. I could get something similar, or I could home make some things with items I could find here. So there's always workarounds. Website called Lazada, which is similar to Amazon in the US. A lot of times I'll have what I need and maybe a little higher price, but if I can't make something from scratch, I order it on there. So there's always ways around everything. And, you know, don't get frustrated and give up. I've used Google searches a lot. Okay, how can I make this if I don't have these ingredients? And usually you can find something.
Basically, there's not really much we miss from home. We found everything we need. Here in Thailand, it does take some searching.
Yeah.
You got to know where to go, what grocery stores to go to.
There are a couple of things I really need. So if somebody's coming over from the U.S., I'll order it on Amazon, have it sent to their house, and they just put it in their suitcase to bring. But that's very few things.
So that makes things easy. So before we go, anytime you do go to Thailand, make sure you are covered by insurance, because it's not the safest place in the world, meaning not talking really about crime. I'm talking more about car accidents, things like that.
So you want a travel insurance policy.
Which we do have a couple of links in the description to make your hunt for that kind of thing a little bit easier. You can find out how much it'll be, and it's based on how long you'll be here in Thailand. Because we actually did this exact same thing when we went back to the U.S. Because we're covered here in Thailand. We're not covered if something bad happened for the 3 weeks we were in the U.S. So we used some of the links that we have in our description, got our own insurance in case something was to happen over there. And if you are looking to move here to Thailand and you want to schedule a one-on-one with me to get more information, get your questions answered, go down to Buy Me a Coffee link down in the description, and there's a way that you can schedule a one-on-one video call so I can answer those questions for you. So we do have some shout outs that we want to go over, and there are people who contributed to the channel, and those people are as followed. First, people giving on Buy Me a Coffee was Alex, Gerard B, Heather, and this is a screen name, I Sing in My Car, John M, and William R. And those people who gave on Super Thanks, it's Lewis, Richard G. Now, this next one is a screen name. Yes, I get the joke behind this. C. Men Stains. The next one's Sharon J, Krista and Stefan, and C. Jones. So thank you very much for contributing to the channel. We really do appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee, link down in the description. And until next time, we're going to end this by saying thank you in Thai, which is Khap Khun Ka.